the only reason I'm pulling up MMA fighting right now is because I have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about for an hour because there's nothing going on other than some matchups that were made.
I was thinking that.
So let's just like fucking.
Even if it's shorter, it's all good.
Yeah. Like I don't mind. Like we're usually around the hour 20ish mark. Oh, that's cool. They're doing a year in review for each division. That's a cool article. I might go through eventually.
I don't think it's each division though, because that article's been up since yesterday, and I don't see anything new.
Oh yeah,
I think they're just doing that on the welterweight.
They didn't have.
That Jed Meshoot, I don't like that guy.
Really?
He does the morning report, and he adds in like a lot of his own little opinions.
Oh,
like
you just want
here's
the facts.
A video, like you know when you post like a video, like the little subtitle will be like, well, this is kind of dumb. Like his opinion. It's like I don't. Like he's just weird too. I
miss like the old morning report. I used to go on that shit all the fucking time.
He gets a lot of hate in the comments where guys are like, "Yo, can you get this guy to stop doing the morning report? Like, get someone else back. Like, we don't like this guy. Yeah, we don't.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, I don't like him. He's not a. He just seems like he's got to get his opinion through. Like, it only matters what he thinks on things.
Yeah,
I don't.
I've noticed that since they've lost most of their people to like fucking MMA Junkie and ESPN, that they're kind of just scrambling from guys.
They have Chiapetta at least.
Who is it? Esther Lynn. Do you remember she put out something called the MMA Show or the MMA News? This is an MMA news show.
I saw a couple of just a clip of a couple of episodes, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? So I was listening to an interview she did with somebody. And she was saying like the idea behind it was that it was just supposed to be a show where they're giving you
just straight
the
facts.
Headlines and facts, no opinions, nothing.
Yeah, but it was so weird.
Like what was weird about it? Because she got a lot of like hate. That's the thing though. They wanted it to seem like a news show.
Fair enough. They wanted it to seem that way, but it
wasn't
a dumb idea.
How long was the video? Do you remember?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay. I don't know if you can do it for that long.
20 minutes or what? It was a long time. And after like 2 minutes, I was like, this is garbage. Like, it's not even that interesting. Like, you got to have something else besides just robots saying things. There's a reason nobody wants to watch that shit.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if you look at all the YouTube videos, they had way more dislikes to likes.
She got a lot of hate for that. She was talking about that. And she thinks that was due to the fact that she was a female and there's a lot of people hating on her for aesthetically.
Not.
No. I think for us, we're the type of guys that don't see that type of stuff. But I think the casual MMA fans, some of them are going to be like, why is there a lady telling me what the fuck is going on? And
I don't think so. I think it had to do with the way the show was. Like, it was like, what the fuck is this?
It does sound like a weird show just because it does seem like very robotic. Like, it could be robotic or just, here's the fact. Here's the news. Here is the,
but Sports Center, they give you facts too, but the guys have a little bit of personality. It's cool.
Interesting.
It was uncomfortable and cringy to watch. Like, that's how you feel while watching. You're like, this is just weird.
I might have to just check out at least 5 minutes of it just to see.
It literally just makes you uncomfortable watching it.
Interesting.
Because it's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, is she like? It's like she's almost held captive, and she's being told to do this. Read off the prompter. Like, like, what the fuck am I watching? Yeah.
She was talking about eventually like bringing it back just in like audio form, just podcast.
How about no, bro? Like, just so cold. Do your own podcast and be you. You don't need a robot. Just get an AI voice to do it.
They said that they're trying to look for something different to do. And there's no real podcast that's actually doing that, which is like straight facts. Here's the headlines. Nothing. Nothing biased.
That's
nothing.
Why I get the idea behind it, but
it's hard to execute. It's hard to execute it.
There's a reason nobody would do that because it just makes people tune out. Like you have no interest in staying.
And it's as simple as scroll down this page, and you have everything that you need to see, rather than 45 minutes or whatever the fuck you said it was. Right?
If you're actually just kind of keeping up day to day, just visiting the site, just checking up headlines, then everything she's going over is stuff you already know, and it's redundant and it's boring on top of that.
True. You need to add a little bit of personality to it.
I'd rather listen to.
I want to see this. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any promos for UFC 246 other than that banner I was telling you that I saw on Christmas Day on the basketball games thing.
Seen any. I haven't been trying to pay attention to. I don't care that much.
But that's the thing. Like, does it feel like there's a Conor McGregor fight in 13 days?
Not really.
Right? This is the first time where it feels like the drop off has been massive.
Past week, no, I'd say past like 2-3 days, it's getting there. I feel like they're starting it up a bit because now Conor's being interviewed, headlines are being made about what he's been saying. So I'm kind of feeling it a bit. But another big issue is like it's the only fight that anyone's even talking about. Does anyone can anyone even
For
name what
us,
the co-main is?
It's Holly Holm or Cal Pennington.
Yeah,
but I know. But
I was about to say, is it Home Pennington?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know for
It's-
sure.
it's
if
Home
that,
Pennington.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. They're not even putting that on the poster.
I know.
That's not on the pictures or anything. It's
I
not
saw
being
202
advertised.
was kind of like that too. I don't remember what their co-main was. Or wait, did they co-main that with the title fight?
That was 202. Yeah.
Because I remember Diaz and Conor too.
That was 202.
I remember they
It was
headlined.
202. That's right.
Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, co-main was Anthony Johnson, Glover Teixeira.
That's a good co-main event. That was the number one contender fight.
Oh, Donald Cerrone, Rick Story under that.
Oh, that was when he comboed him.
Mike Perry versus Hung Yu Lim was a fun fight.
That
Nobody really
at that
knew.
time though, yeah.
Nobody knew who they were. They kind of knew who Lim was. They didn't know who Perry.
That was Perry's
debut. That was
Yeah.
Perry's debut.
And then when he screaed at Lim at the weigh-ins,
Yeah. Who the fuck is this guy?
And then
He gives
just
him the hand, and he pulls it away.
Then he just rushes him and knocks him out.
And then you got Carlos Diego Ferreira against Anthony Pettis on there as well. If this isn't too long, I just want to check it out. Let's just see what this promo. Oh, okay, great. 1 minute. Let's see what this is.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just show the two belts and him knocking a couple people out. That's it.
It's always funny to me when they show highlights of like a fight like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, this is not it's not the same fighter
If you
anymore.
if
This
you
is not
see
relevant.
the shorts with the
Yeah.
other sponsors on it,
Yeah.
you know it's good. Oh, okay. They showed Cowboy a little bit.
Yeah. Like Cowboy knocking out Melvin Gillard. What the fuck?
Look, you can
Not
still see
relevant now.
sponsors. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. But another thing you gotta say is that they put this fight together pretty late too, right?
Yeah, because they just I don't know. It's
They
probably
couldn't
hard
come
get
to
McGregor
terms.
commit to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think his reported salary will be? Like the commission reported salary?
I'd say 2 million.
You think so?
I'd say between 1.5 and 2 million.
No, man.
That's whatever.
I don't think Conor ever will get less than 3 mil flat per fight.
What was his last one? Do you remember?
It was 3, I believe.
Okay, then I was wrong. I don't know why I thought
I'm
it was
actually
one.
gonna say
I could say 5 million.
no.
I'm gonna say 5 million. He wants to always top himself somehow.
That's what I mean. I would say 4 though, because the highest ever was him. I think at 3.5 or 3. So and they don't really just jump that much like that quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's getting at least like 4. But then pay-per-view points and all that stuff. So
Well, reported is what we're talking about, right? Like reported is just what
He'll probably get closer to what, like 15-ish, I guess.
I'd say 15 million.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come back. If you're Connor, I wouldn't come back for less than 50 million, which is probably like up the top of what you could probably make there.
Yeah. Well, he could like at this point the money doesn't matter to him, right? It's just he's a competitor.
Yeah.
And he just wants to
You see all these goddamn
You see the odds though?
yeah, it's up to like minus 300 now, isn't it?
It actually got up to like minus 310 I saw, then it dropped back down to minus 300.
Damn.
But at those odds,
Minus 300.
100%, Donald Cerrone's getting a bet.
Oh, for sure.
1,000%.
Plus 263 on Pinnacle.
Dude,
That's
this
great.
fight, the odds should be minus 200 in my opinion. Connor.
Yes.
Not
I
minus
agree.
300. That's
I
a little
agree.
absurd. I know it's a bad stylistic matchup,
Yeah.
but outside of the boxing realm, Conor is probably at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
If it stays kickboxing range, Cerrone will probably have a slight advantage. Or, yeah, I'd say Cerrone has a slight advantage kickboxing.
I'd say Connor have the slight advantage in the kickboxing and boxing range for a round and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Roughly
because of
around
his in and out movement and
his
stuff.
speed,
Yeah, his
all that
distance.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think at that point, Connor's going to, or Cerrone will be turned on per se,
Yeah.
and start fucking having his success. I want to see at what point he starts to mix in his wrestling because I guarantee he has that in his
If
game
I'm
plan.
Cowboy, 100%, I'm trying to wrestle Conor.
But I don't think he'll be successful with it in the first round, and he would leave himself open to be
No.
knocked out to try to close the distance
I
like
think
that.
he's going to stand a bit. He's got to do one of those when like Conor kind of blitzes in, duck under double, quick.
He can
Once
do it. He's capable of it.
Once Cerrone has him down, Conor's in fucking trouble. So like for those odds, considering how much better Cerrone is in the grappling department, that's just absurd. And the fact that Cerrone is still a stand-up fighter, yeah, he gets knocked out. He can get knocked out quick, and Conor's a fast starter.
But those odds are absurd.
When you look at it from that standpoint, plus Conor's coming off how long of a
Yeah,
layoff?
he didn't fight in 2018.
And then that Khabib fight, he looked like shit anyway.
Yeah.
And he hasn't fought since then. And he hasn't had a good performance since Eddie Alvarez 3+ years ago.
UFC 205.
What are we like?
We're at UFC 246, right? That's 246. That's
And
crazy.
Interesting fact. John Kavanagh actually said, I think Conor finishes him later because he's bigger. We're fighting up a weight, so I don't think he'll put him out so quick. He could starch him. But he's like, he expects Conor to not gas and finish him a little later. I'm like,
Even at 170, we saw him gas a little bit against Nate Diaz in the...
Even in the second fight.
Yeah.
He got a second win, fine, but he slowed down significantly.
And Cowboy just continues to pick shit up, so it's going to be harder for him to...
Cowboy will never gas.
No.
He's had so many 5-round fights, and he's had, like, the fights have started bad for him, and he's still good.
What do you think the odds on Cerrone by sub are?
Okay, if Cerrone straight is at plus 250, Cerrone
Hold on,
by
hold on.
sub...
Let me see what Cerrone in... Don't look.
Okay.
I want to see what Cerrone inside the distance is.
Okay.
That should give you a little bit of an indicator.
I'm going to say Cerrone by sub is a plus 350.
Cerrone inside the distance is plus 425.
Holy
So
fuck.
Cerrone by sub is plus 600.
Holy
plus
shit.
600, yeah. Dude, the last time I did that,
I would do
he
inside-
fucking knocks out Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah, he knocked him out. Cerrone, especially like a little more like at the beginning of his career, he would rock guys and sub them. Now,
Yeah.
but then
The Barboza one?
Then like around the Charles Oliveira fight, it started to turn a bit where it's like he's actually finishing guys with his strikes,
yeah.
as opposed to just rocking and subbing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You know what the crazy thing is?
I
We're
think
actually
straight-
gonna we're have one more episode before the fight. Whatever, I don't mind talking about this anyway. It's the most relevant thing to talk about right now.
We're gonna preview the whole card after,
For sure. But this is the biggest fight on it,
But yeah,
easily.
what about Conor's statements?
I didn't listen to the interview or see
I
anything
didn't
yet.
listen to anything. I just read the recaps.
Yeah,
at
I
this point.
didn't see any of that
When
yet.
I was like, it's funny when we first started like in MMA, I would like listen to all the shit.
Dude, I would watch the countdowns. I would
right?
watch all the interviews.
Yeah.
This is around the time when I was in college.
Yeah.
So I would go down to the Cow for breakfast, and while I'm eating breakfast, I would
Watch the countdowns,
go to
yeah.
UFC's YouTube page and watch every fucking video. Now it's just like,
after
I
a
know what the
point-
filler bullshit is.
After a while, it's just like, okay, a lot of this is just repetitive
Yes.
and redundant, and I don't care anymore. Like,
Had a
just
great
show me the
training
fight.
camp.
I don't need to
you
get
know.
hyped. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and try to knock this guy out. Ooh,
Yeah, the same bullshit over and over. It's the best shape I've ever been in.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
God,
I have a new new head coach, so
Yeah.
training has changed up a little bit.
A lot of the times that is a good sign of, oh, I got to bet against that guy. He just changed. Remember when David Branch switched camps at the age of 36 years old because his UFC career wasn't going well? I'm like, oh, he's fucked. He's fucked.
yeah.
When you're trying to make a change that late, it's over.
No.
It's over.
If you're over 35 and training camps or
then he
changing training camps,
And then he got subbed in 45 seconds. So it was...
that was not. Was that Luke
exactly what we
Rockhold?
thought. That was the
Yeah.
Hermanson fight.
Oh,
when he
Hermanson.
went in
Oh my god.
With his new camp and all that stuff.
Who did he go to again? Do you remember?
I think before he was just training himself, and I don't
No, he was with Henzo Gracie and
know.
one of those. I know he's obviously a big jiu-jitsu guy, so he was with Henzo. I don't remember who else. Minus 1,000 on Macy Barber over Roxanne Modafari. That's a little crazy. I know she's the future, as her nickname
That's
indicates,
insane. That's insane.
but that's a little crazy.
Roxanne can grind people, man.
I've had somebody tell me that they've seen them spar before, and Modafari's taken her down a couple times without much issue. But again, training, fight, two different things.
And when you have someone as young as Macy Barber, it's like next week she's that much better. When they're that young,
Exactly.
they just get better so
But
quick.
do you think a minus 1,000 is justified against
Hell
a
no.
vet like Roxanne
Maybe
Modafari?
fucking minus 300 maybe? She's still
Yeah.
so young.
Yeah.
So much can happen. I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Johnny Walker, like everybody was drinking
Oh,
his
he's
juice.
back?
No, I'm saying like
Oh.
everybody was drinking his juice over Corey Anderson, who's been around forever, and Anderson comes out there and springs the upset. Another interesting match. Well, we want to save a little bit of this for next week, so let's see what the fuck is going on in terms of
Connor,
yeah. Sorry.
Connor made some.
John Kavanagh on game plan.
That's what I just.
Connor
talked
knows
about
more
earlier.
about fighting than the rest of us put together. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Kavanaugh just kind of says shit at this point.
Yeah.
Connor said that, well, obviously he's just saying to promote the fight, but he's talking about how Khabib's running scared and he wants the rematch.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that actually.
Did you hear his breakdown of the fight?
Didn't you say of the fight? No, all I saw there is he smells like shit. That's all I
So
think.
he said, and it's actually like a lot of people are giving him shit. Oh, it's so absurd and stupid. But I I can see where he's coming from, right? So round one, he said, he's like, honestly, like if it was up to me, I would score round one for me. He just controlled me a lot, but I landed more strikes. And if you rewatch the round, it was Khabib just constantly holding him down, moving position, getting him back down, getting him back, and just controlling him.
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying, but obviously you didn't win the round. You got control. Then he kind of glossed over the second. That was the part where I'm like, okay. But he said he was winning up to a point, and then he's like, okay, well, whatever. He got me down, then he ended good. And I'm like, man, ended good. He dropped you and ended the round pounding you as you were just fucking blocking and turtling up. I'm like, that's a little more than just, he ended strong.
Yeah.
I always find it's a terrible look when you get taken down and the horn has to get you up.
Save you. Yeah,
That is the worst look possible. Because if that fight just stayed from that position on,
you might get finished.
You're fucked. How are you going to get up?
Yeah.
You need the round ending to get you up. That's a terrible look. And they said the third round he owned him. He did win that round. We didn't own him. And that was also the one round I think Khabib didn't try and shoot. So there's always that.
Is that the round that he dropped him in? Or the fourth round?
Second.
The second round?
He dropped him in the second and then rushed him and took him down and then pounded his ass out. That was a 10-8.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fourth, he got the takedown again. Conor said he fucked up and he grabbed him and it's cool. But I'm like,
what part are you saying that you understand, or you're giving him
the damage part? Like I get what he's saying when he says, "Oh, round one he just controlled me." Well, that is kind of true. You probably maybe from a damage standpoint, you hit him more. I don't even remember who hit who really in that round. From what I remember, Khabib shot it in the leg in like the first 10 to 15 seconds, and then was just
see
all
what
him
UFC
controlling.
stats says.
And then the second round was all Khabib, and then third round whatever. But his assessment was just kind of a little funny, in the sense of like I don't
know if that's me or is that
that's
you?
me.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. This is a casual show. I don't give a fuck.
Is that Mike actually gonna pick that up?
I don't know. It's all good.
Call me.
Let's see what the first round looked like stats wise for these guys.
It was I remember Khabib shooting in like the first 15, and then it was just mostly that.
Conor landed 39 strikes, total strikes. Khabib landed 18.
So 7-6. Khabib actually outstruck Conor.
Significant strikes, and then total strikes, Conor outstruck him. And that's like taking into account
this is the pitter patter. Okay,
shit.
so that's what he's talking about. I get that from that standpoint, but it was definitely still a Khabib.
And then round two,
it's just
58-7.
I get it. Okay, fine. He's trying to promote the fight, but man, that is not a fight anybody cares to see because it's like, but
give us a reason to care about it.
You can't stop the wrestling. There's nothing about that fight that lets you know that once Khabib grabs a hold of you, you can get away from him. You couldn't. Even, okay, let's say you didn't train that well, flat-footed, okay. But even once you got taken down, it wasn't like you were... In the first round, I thought Conor was doing good at stopping Khabib from doing a lot of damage. And he was just moving around. Second round, it just seemed like he was just conceding position a lot. Like, when you see high-level guys who just refuse to get taken down, like an Aldo...
Yeah.
Like Aldo the second his hips hit the ground, you shoot back up.
Adesanya is the same way.
He's conceding position, right? You concede position to a guy like Khabib, it's over, bro. I don't.
There's no interest in the rematch at all unless we see Conor actually put together two solid wins.
What does starching Cowboy on the feet tell me about your chances against Khabib?
He needs to beat somebody else.
It doesn't mean anything.
It seems like they're trying to tee up the Masvidal fight. But also, Masvidal seems like he's going to be fighting Usman next.
So this is more on
the interview. That's the latest rumblings I'm hearing.
Masvidal said that himself?
He didn't say that himself, but it seems like the way that things are being matched up, Leon Edwards against Tyron Woodley, the only real person left for Usman to fight, and I don't think he's out for an extended period of time. I don't think he has any injuries. The only reasonable person for him to fight would be Masvidal. Who else is there? Edwards was in line for a title shot. Colby Covington's not coming back anytime soon. Tyron Woodley's not getting a title shot.
I guess they're waiting for this fight to play out to see if Conor wins.
But that fight's in March.
What?
I think that's in March. Edwards and Woodley.
No, I'm saying they're waiting for this fight to play out.
Okay.
To see what Conor wants to do next.
And if Masvidal would take the bait.
Masvidal fight, yeah. Because it doesn't seem Masvidal cares too much. He just wants the paydays.
Yeah.
One thing Conor did say, Justin Gaethje's on the list. He's like, I might face him after Cerrone.
Good.
Like, there you go.
That's a start. That's a start.
If you beat Cerrone, the last two guys to beat him face off, I have no problem. If Conor goes out and finishes Cerrone and Gaethje,
I'm okay with the title shot.
Get the title shot.
I'm okay
that
with
is
that.
Totally justifiable.
That's a justifiable
because
route back to a title shot.
The only guy ahead of him who he wouldn't have faced would have been Tony, and let's say Tony loses, or Khabib or Tony loses, they would now be coming off a loss. So it would actually make perfect sense for him to get the next title shot. So I don't mind that.
Tony wins, man. Fucking hope.
And then
Tony
Conor
wins.
was saying that he's not too interested in Masvidal. Actually, he was saying that he'd rather have the UFC belt, not the BMF title. So he seemed to downplay that a bit. He actually said he was more interested in. Here's the crazy part. Here's the most nutty shit he said. He's more interested in Usman. Conor wants the welterweight title. Do you know how fucked he would get against Usman?
You don't have to tell me, dude.
Are you kidding me?
My issue here is what makes him think that he's gonna be able to even compete against guys that like Usman's huge too. He's gonna have a massive strength advantage against him.
You cannot move him.
No,
he's bigger than Khabib. Maybe Khabib's wrestling overall is probably a little better.
Yeah,
but he's way bigger.
I think Usman does a better job of mixing it up than Khabib actually. Yeah.
And even on the feet, Conor might outstrike him, but I think Usman lands once, it's going to do a lot more damage than if Conor lands. Like, that's a terrible.
And I also think his pace is going to fuck Conor up too.
There you go. He's got better cardio and he's bigger. How the fuck? And he's a better grappler. What?
I think Conor's just saying shit just to say shit at this point.
It seems like that. But it's hard to tell anymore because at first he was always so cerebral, calculated, everything made sense, it was logical. Then he kind of went off the rails a bit. So it's like
he got money. He got $100 million in the bank.
I'm hoping he is because apparently. He said for the Khabib fight, he's like, it was an embarrassment. Like, I honestly embarrassed my coaches. Like, I didn't take it seriously. I didn't train hard at all. And that was on me. So he did say that. And his coach is talking about he's been really committed. He's been training properly, like back to normal. So maybe he has kind of learned that lesson of, oh shit, I kind of went off the rails. Maybe I should get back on. I don't know. But that's the thing. I don't really believe it yet until I see it, right? So it's hard to tell.
It's tough to say that when you have a fight that you know is the biggest fight of your career ahead of you. Like, it's the Andy Ruiz thing again too, right? You have the biggest fight ahead of you. You're going to go on and put 30 pounds on. You're going to be Conor McGregor. You're going to go out there and not train a certain way to get victory in a fight that is probably the biggest fight in UFC history, if we're not considering.
Yeah, against Khabib.
The greatest fighter of all time right now. Like, GOAT, essentially.
Got caught up and the whole lifestyle and that money and
shit.
Fuck
you. Yeah, at that point, he doesn't care about legacy. He was just caring about the paycheck. But still, the Cerrone fight is so bittersweet because it's kind of a fight that we want to see, but the circumstances around it aren't the ones that are fun for the fight fans. Like Cerrone's literally the Cerrone and Gaethje fight was pretty much a Conor sweepstakes, if we're not mistaken, right? Conor wants to come back against the guy that would get him into a title shot. Cerrone wasn't that guy. This is not the situation that we wanted for Conor.
Conor should have taken the Gaethje fight if he wanted to win.
Yes. Especially if you want to justify getting a title shot even sooner.
Title shot. You take the Gaethje fight.
That's it. That's all you need to take. I would have actually even accepted the Poirier fight over Cowboy.
Yeah, that's not bad either because Poirier is still high ranked.
Just came off of a title loss.
I think he's still like number 2 or something like that.
It's there. I get it. All Cowboy really has riding for him here is his name. If it wasn't for his name, like if it was Justin Gaethje that lost. You think Justin Gaethje's getting this shot? Justin Gaethje lost to Cowboy. You think Justin Gaethje's getting this spot?
That's what's kind of stupid about this whole. That's the part that pisses me off the most. Is Cowboy lost his way into a big fight? I don't like that shit.
That's what I mean. That the circumstances surrounding this fight aren't the most ideal.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Cowboy's vulnerable. He got knocked out. Oh, Conor needs an easy win. Throw him in. This is the time to make the fight. It's like, what? If I was Gaethje, what the fuck?
I think what really throws a wrench into everything is if Tony Ferguson actually beats Khabib.
Yeah,
and.
No, you know what? I don't think it throws too much of a wrench in there because I think if Tony beats Khabib, then just let Conor and Khabib rematch.
No, you know what I think they might do? They might do Tony Conor.
Oh, yeah,
it's fresh matchup.
Yeah, because Conor wants to
coming off a win.
Way easier matchup because he's not going to get taken down. It's going to be on the feet probably.
So there's no.
I shouldn't say way easier because cardio and stuff like.
In my opinion, he still doesn't deserve a title shot if he beats Cowboy and if Tony beats Khabib.
No.
It's just a fresh matchup and the UFC is going to find a way to market it.
The Cowboy win is a rebound to get back into the win column. Then you need
to get another fight.
Then you need a title eliminator.
What are the chances? Here, let me throw out a scenario for you. What are the chances you think that they do a Khabib rematch if Tony beats him or Tony fights Conor first? What happens first? Should be Khabib first.
I think Khabib should get the rematch, but the problem is, first of all, it'll depend how he loses. Second of all, Khabib doesn't fucking fight that often.
His schedule.
The guy just doesn't like fighting much. He fights twice a year if we're lucky.
Well, this actually fits into his schedule, though, because he fought in October, right?
But yeah,
So if he fights in
fight
April,
around September, October after Ramadan.
that's not bad. April to October, 6-ish months.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't mind that.
What Khabib. That's what you can't expect more than every 6 months for Khabib. He's not going to fight that often.
I'm a super harping on the fact that Tony's going to win this fight because I believe it. Man.
I would love to.
I believe that. What are the odds for that fight?
Because if you want to look at someone who fucking deserves that win after the streak he's put together, Ferguson, bro.
Minus 225 Khabib, plus 185 Ferguson, plus 204 on Pinnacle.
This is insane. The fact that they're both the record holders for win streaks and they're finally facing. Like, this is retarded.
Damn, fight doesn't go to decision, minus 120.
It's so rare when you get number one versus number two and they're both so ahead of everybody else.
Yes, it's very rare that we get that.
Remember JDS Kane? That's what that felt like
yes.
before it happened. It was like nobody can beat these guys and now they're about to face each other. Holy shit.
I think Holloway Volkanovski almost had that feeling for me as well. I'm trying to remember other matchups.
Not me though, because Holloway just lost. Like, I just saw him
in a different weight class. I know, I get it. But it takes away from the aura of it.
He didn't lose because of size though.
Yeah.
He still got outstruck. So to me, I'm like, the weight cut didn't really
actually even
really affected it.
Leading up to it, Holloway Ortega. Holloway was still had that invincible aura around him because he was on a 12, 13 fight win streak, whatever. Yep. And Ortega was fucking, you know.
Ortega, though, I was like, man, he's been losing a lot of the fights that he wins. And that shit's going to end soon. And it's probably going to end.
But always found a way to pull it out of his ass.
Yeah.
Always.
That's going to.
It's going to catch up to you,
yeah,
for sure.
Dude, you can do that to, like, you know, maybe below the top 10 or 6 to 10 here and there, get lucky. But once you start to get to those top dudes, you can't rely on that shit.
No. I'm interested to see how Brian Ortega actually comes back because I feel like he started working with some kickboxing guy now too.
I'm guessing they're going to do the zombie fight, it looks like. Or you see, they can match up guys in a lot of different ways, right? They could do Holloway zombie.
Yep.
They could do zombie. I think, who did he want? He wanted Ortega, Zabit, or Holloway. Those are his three.
I think Zabit's future is already in stone. You got to have him fight Yair.
If I was zombie, I would want the Ortega fight because Ortega's still ranked 2.
Yeah,
he's coming off a long layup after a bad that was a beatdown. Like,
I agree.
I'm glad he took so much time off. You need to take time off.
That was bad fight. That was bad fight.
And it's the time to beat him. Like, on the feet, the zombie probably fucking not probably on the feet. He will wreck Ortega if that stays on the feet. I think.
I just want to see what kind of Ortega we get when he comes back, though. Like, what kind of wrinkles is he going to show? Because jiu-jitsu, top notch, next level shit.
Next level, yeah.
If he's able to string in his striking to get him to those takedowns or to those submission positions, this guy's going to be insane.
He's not good at takedowns. He generally relies on guys to fuck up. And then, you do that 4 or 5 times and get a nice win streak. Now everybody knows. And one guy manages to stifle it. And then from then on, you see like, oh, it's just constantly getting stifled by the top guys.
It just
takes one guy to expose it.
A lot of people were buying into his hype too. Remember the line on fucking Holloway kept going down?
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane. I took the fight doesn't go to decision in that, and then I sprinkled a little bit on Holloway in rounds 4, rounds 5.
Yeah, because they had some crazy.
It was like plus 1100, plus 1400. Is there anything else big going? Oh wait, I see Conor McGregor and Kamaru Usman's name. Yeah, McGregor more interest in Usman than Masvidal. Shut up.
Ridiculous.
Shut up. Oh
yeah, Maya Burns. That's a good fight.
I like that fight. I like that fight.
Not for Maya. I don't know why you would take that fight. You're on a 3-fight win streak. You just retired Ben Askren. You're ranked higher than Burns.
I don't think a title is in his future though. He doesn't care for a title.
It seems like he's done with even trying to compete for a title. Those top guys, he's never going to beat them. Let's be honest.
How many fights did he say he had left? Like 2 more fights that he wanted to do, I think.
Oh, okay. So more fun type fights.
Yeah. I don't mind the fight. And we actually like suggested this fight when we were thinking of what's next for Maya. I think stylistically it's a great fight. Burns has been looking really good on the feet, and you suggested that he should probably keep this fight on the feet. I'm cool with it either way for Burns. Like I know how high level Damian Maya's jiu-jitsu is. Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu is high level, and he's younger.
I don't like. We've seen high level guys against Maya, and he makes them look like they're white belts. So what about Gilbert Burns is more special than anyone else that Maya's fought?
Let's
I think
compare,
he tools.
Let's see this.
I think he tools Burns in the grappling like he tools everybody in the grap. Highest level grapplers are scared to go to the ground with Damian Maya. This is another level. There's high level, and then there's Maya level.
Second degree black belt. Look at all these championships he's won.
Yeah, well, even the way he's adapted it to MMA, though, it's a
Yeah.
different thing. Like he's next level. Nobody can fuck with Damian Maia and the grappler. The only guy who hung in there with him was Jake Shields. He did good.
Yeah.
Jake Shields was actually able to reverse position, stifle, and
Masvidal didn't get
win
tapped.
rounds.
I know he got controlled, but he didn't get tapped. That was impressive
He
too.
didn't get tapped.
What was I going to do? What other headlines do we got? Sean Brady against Ishmael Nardiev. That's a decent fight.
Oh yeah, no. It looks very likely that we're gonna get Kevin Lee versus Makhachev.
What's the like? There's so much back and forth going on.
Weird
like Ali's
shit.
talking about nobody
Ali's
wants to
talking
fight
about
him.
like, oh, nobody wants to fight Makhachev, and Kevin Lee's like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm telling
down.
you, I want the fight. And obviously, why would Makhachev say no to that? You finally get a top 10 guy. Kevin Lee is the one who has very little to gain off this fight.
Yeah.
And he's the one asking for it. So fucking sign the papers and take the fight.
If anything for Kevin Lee, it's a little bit of a step backwards.
Yeah.
Unless you're a hardcore fan.
I like where his mindset is though. It's like, you know what? I lost to the top dogs. I'm coming off one impressive win off this up and comer. Let's not just jump right back in. I'm with a new coach. So it seems like he's like, I'm cool with taking out.
I think it's a tough fight for him though.
Exactly.
Makhachev's
That's what
a
I
very
like
tough
about
fight.
his mentality, where it's like, I'm taking very risky fights.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to jump into the top. But at the same time, he's not taking like, randoms or anything.
I don't
He's
think
like, these
Makhachev's
are-
even ranked either.
No,
So that's
I don't
another
think so.
thing right there for him.
I think he's just like, you know what? Let me just prove it that I am the best. Let me just show it.
I can't wait for the time where people stop calling out George St. Pierre.
It's very embarrassing.
Just because you have the welterweight title doesn't mean that you have the right to
Very
call it
embarrassing.
GSP.
I think GSP's 37 or 38. Why?
But see, I think the thing is that remember when Faraz Zahabi put it out there when he's like George is still training, George
Yeah,
is still
he could still beat the guy.
yeah. Like the fact that they keep throwing it out there, I guess, is why people keep calling his name out.
But Faraz to me, it didn't seem like he said that because he wanted people to call him out. He's just answering Rogan when he's talking about, is George still? Yeah, George is always still in there. He's still the best.
But I swear he said something about like if the right fight came about, George would come back. I think
that was more speculation on Faraz's part. Like that's where I think his head's
That's where
where
I'm at.
he might come back.
I think the only fight he would come back for is Khabib.
That's what I'm like. Shut up, Usman.
Yeah.
You know you're not a draw. There are I think 3 people in the whole company that GSP might come back for. Okay,
Khabib.
that would be Khabib, Conor, or Masvidal.
I agree.
Those are the only 3 guys that GSP is going to take a fight
Yeah.
with. Or
I don't even think Masvidal.
Maybe. Although I don't see him taking this fight because he has nothing to gain, but for naming wise, maybe a Nick Diaz. But I don't think anybody
No, I don't
cares
think he
to
wants
see
to
that.
make these. Maybe Nate. He might fight Nate,
Fuck yeah, that's.
but I doubt that. Like I don't even think
I
Nate
don't think
wants that
anybody
fight
wants
either.
to see it. Like we know how that fight goes. Okay, it's
The only
5-minute
intriguing
rounds.
fight out of all of that is Khabib and GSP. That's the only one that I want to see.
That would be interesting because GSP's got the size, but Khabib's probably the better wrestler. He's been doing it.
But who's the better MMA wrestler? Right? Like GSP mixes shit up so
No, but
insane. Like,
I would argue Khabib's got the much better ground and pound. So I think Khabib's kind
True.
of.
but is he able to get it to that position and keep it in that position?
He does it to
Right?
else, man.
It's
He does it to everybody. But yeah,
everybody
GSP's
else
bigger.
is in GSP.
GSP's
That's
bigger.
that's the
GSP's
difference
bigger.
there, right?
I mean, Johnny Hendricks was able to get GSP down and hold him there.
Yeah, that's true. I almost forgot about that.
GSP didn't really get up until I think Johnny backed off.
Yeah.
I think Johnny let him up. I remember that.
Man, that fight.
And
dude.
GSP could not get Hendricks down and keep him down. But then again, that's probably also roided out Hendricks. Because as
Yeah,
soon as USADA
definitely.
reached, what the fuck happened, bro?
Yeah, Jacare doesn't rule out light heavyweight fights. Okay.
Yeah, nobody cares. You're 38. You're stiff. He's so old and stiff now. That's one thing that pissed me off is that he never got his title fight in his prime. Like he just kept winning, but circumstances or whatever, he
Yeah.
would never get his title fight. And then when he was like really ready for it, he loses to Whitaker, and now he's
Yeah.
just knocked off the pedestal. It's like, oh,
Poor fucking.
he lost
guy.
his chance. He's just too old now. Like remember with the Okami fight, we're like, holy fuck, this guy's a monster. When Jacare finished Okami at the time, we were like, what the fuck?
Because
Was
the
that?
ground and pound that he unleashed on his ass.
Just fucking
Yeah,
like,
that was insane.
it was like
dude.
dummying, like big brothering him almost, just mauling him.
Bellator champ calls Ryan Ryan calls out.
Oh,
Rizin
this
to
guy.
the five counterpart.
This guy's pretty good, it seems. Well,
yeah, Jerry.
also-
I've heard of a lot about.
well, okay,
Jerry
King
Pro
Mo
Kaza.
knocked him out, and then he went on a crazy streak, including avenging that loss.
Oh,
he
shit.
finished Mo after.
I would. Could you imagine Ryan Bader as champ? What the fuck? Ryan Bader, out of all people.
Ryan Bader is a top 5 light heavyweight, but like just top 5, like 5 maybe. Like if you put him, if you went back into the UFC, he'd be top 5.
I think there is an opportunity for him to come back to the UFC once his contract runs out, but I just want to see how old he is.
I think he's 36.
Oh God. Fuck you, Tony. Did you see this recently?
No. It's funny because 35 flashed in my head, but I'm like, I felt like 35
Probably
was like
36
last year, so let me go with 36.
Yeah. No, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't know how many fights he has left, and I'm not sure
Light
how good they
heavyweight, though,
treat
you could fight a
him.
little longer. They could go to 38, 39 years old.
Probably. I don't know how many fights he has left, but it would be great if he came to the UFC with this type of steam and injected a little bit of.
If I was him, maybe that's what you do. You go win that third belt, and then you go UFC.
Pay me.
Give me a good contract. I'll come back. Your division's shit. I could beat all these dudes.
I can make things competitive again.
Especially now with Gus and Cormier out of the division.
Yeah. Remember we were supposed to get Cormier and Bader, and then that fight fell through because Cormier, I think, stepped in.
No.
What?
No. You know why it fell through?
I swear it was because Cormier got pulled out to get a title fight, no?
This is how uninterested the UFC was in the Cormier fight, in the Cormier-Bader fight.
I swear it was a headliner. Yeah.
Bader's on a streak. Cormier's the champ. They even have this little thing where they start yelling at each other at a press conference. But the UFC goes, you know what? That's cool. But we're going to give the title shot to Gus, even though he just got knocked out in his hometown. That's how little the UFC gave a fuck about making Bader Cormier. Gus got a title fight coming off a knockout loss to Rumble, rather than Bader on his 4-fight win streak. Then they matched Bader with Rumble, and then that was the end of the Bader experiment. That's it. He will never get a title shot after.
That was like the worst beatdown I've ever fucking seen.
It was,
besides the Nogueira knockout.
It was the fact that Rumble mounted him, and Bader literally just held onto a Kimura out of fear of letting go of this hand because of what it's going to do to his face.
It was just like the gradual thing of Johnson trying to pop his arm out.
All desperation. Then Bader just turned up on his back. I remember because Rumble almost like calmly mounted, then like slowly sat up.
It was Bader
just started fucking.
It was Bader going for a takedown, gives up on the takedown,
then Rumble's got him mounted, and he's trying to Kimura. I'm like, this is embarrassing. And then when he's finally face down, Rumble, that's some crazy power though. When a guy's face down blocking like this, and you still knock him dead, like he went out from
that went through the punches.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Pretty much went through the punches.
But that was the biggest thing of like. That ruined his title hopes because not only did you lose, but you look scared.
Yeah, that was his last fight in the UFC, right? I'm pretty certain.
No, after that, I swear he won a decision, then he knocked out Latifi, something like that.
I swear that was the last we saw of him, but your memory is a lot better than mine.
Maybe he knocked out Latifi on the run before that, like before he got the Rumble fight. What's up? Knocked out Latifi.
Oh, and Nogueira.
That stupid rematch. Yeah,
the Nogueira rematch.
Yeah, then he went to Bellator. I mean, it's not a bad loss, Rumble by KO, but the way it happened, like if you were just standing and got clipped, no one would care.
Why do I feel like he's had more fights than 2, 4, 6 Bellator fights?
No, he has. Outside of that actual tournament that he was in, he hasn't been that active.
Yeah. No. He fought his first fight in June 2017. So I guess
I think it's also Bellator booking him. I don't think they have fights for this guy.
That's true.
What the fuck? He's so much better than all these guys.
I forgot what happened here. Actually, Congo couldn't see. So there's no contest.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Fuck Congo.
Fuck Jack Congo. What an annoying fighter. You're just an idiot.
Yeah, they didn't reschedule anything yet. Did you watch PFL? Probably not. What am I talking about?
I saw the results.
You saw any of the highlights? Anything?
Dude, Kayla Harrison's got it made. You just gotta beat these tiny women that are not even as skilled as you, and you get $1 million paychecks. Fuck yes.
But dude, let's talk about that. How the fuck is PFL going to maintain that when there's so many pictures out there of their live events and the lack of crowd out there?
It looks like there's like 300 people.
Not to mention all the complimentary tickets they give out there. There's been people that are on the strip, like they've done a couple shows in Vegas, and there's people on the strip saying that there's people walking around giving out PFL tickets to come to it. What are you hoping to achieve?
It's all investor money, and they're just hoping at this point, but it's not sustainable. All these. We've seen MMA promotions who do this and they just go under. They can't sustain.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt here, strictly due to the fact that they're trying to do something different.
Yeah,
Because
but
what
you
the,
need
the style that they're introducing to the MMA game is actually incentivizing finishes. So which is why you're going to be able to get better highlights,
That's cool. Yeah,
better things to put on social media,
trying it, but
get your name out there. But
don't have
do
the
you think
roster.
like is
fuck's sake.
Rory the first like big guy that they're going to get that
Kind of.
might be able to bring some more eyeballs?
Sort
They're
of.
talking about they're not even done yet. Apparently, there's another big free agent that they're going after that. I have no idea who the fuck it could be.
I don't know where this money is supposed to be coming from because it doesn't even look like are they growing that much? It looks like they're just stagnant.
They had a huge group of investors come in and give them money. I know
Isn't Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart's one of them. PFL investor. Okay, there's a bunch of companies that do investing called PFL, Professional Fighters League.
I don't know what their end game is. Like, are they maybe trying to go a little more international?
Everything is out of fucking. Look at that. Mark Burnett, Kevin Hart, Tony Robbins.
Even Lance Palmer. This guy's got to.
I know he's got it made too.
He needs to beat a guy he's already beat twice, and
Yep.
he gets $1 million paycheck. What the fuck, dude? I still don't understand UFC fighters
Who just don't go
not
over
jumping
there.
to PFL.
Jordan
Bader-
Johnson though, this guy's
Bader?
on hard fucking times.
Even fucking Bader.
Yeah, Bader.
Bader
Too.
jumping into that light
Yeah.
heavyweight pool.
They must be paying
Easy.
him nice amount. They must be at least paying him a mil something. Especially
Bader?
champ.
Bader?
Yeah.
He ain't getting no $1 million per fight. You kidding me?
Not
UFC
perfect,
doesn't matter.
but after everything, after sponsors, after all that shit, he must be taking home at least $1 million.
You think so? Oh yeah, okay. I can see that.
I could see him
I would
getting
say high
about.
six figures though, man. Like he's probably getting 300,000. Then after sponsors, I would say like 700-800.
Do they really? They don't release Bellator salaries. At least
I'd say
nothing that
closer
I've
to like
seen.
700-800 because there's not that much money from sponsors and whatnot when you're fighting in Bellator.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson was supposed to be that guy that came over from the UFC because I believe he left the UFC on a win. And I was like, yo, I'm going to go to PFL, get an easy paycheck there.
And he lost.
Now he's getting finished by a guy who got finished quickly on the Contender Series,
Oh god.
right? This was the finals, so at least he made it to the finals this season. Last season, he didn't even make it to the playoffs. Nathan Schultz is pretty fucking good.
Larissa Pacheco.
I know.
So you got to beat to win $1 million.
Did you see who Pacheco beat to get to the finals?
No.
Sarah Kaufman.
She actually beat Kaufman. That
Kaufman was
the
a
upset?
huge favorite in
Yeah,
that fight.
was
And
What the
Pacheco comes out and beats her.
What the hell's Kaufman? What are you doing?
I
Like,
know.
why does Kaufman keep shitting the bed all the time?
The funny thing is, the whole thing for this season was supposed to be Kayla Harrison against Sarah Kaufman
Yeah, I
in the
know.
finals,
And she
and they bust that.
And it's like,
And a lot of these guys got fucking replaced because of like drug tests. Daniel Pineda was supposed to be in the finals. He got pulled because of drug testing. A bunch of others. A lot of guys shifted, and that's the shitty part about their season and actually their tournament style. I think we talked about this before, where in one night they'll have 2 rounds. So they'll have to fight twice.
I don't like
But
that.
then sometimes when they're not able to fight the second round, the person who lost in the fight
goes
gets that.
through.
Then you screw it up. You screw it all. Why do you need more than one fight?
That's why I don't like. That's why that's the whole thing with tournaments in MMA. When if
You can do tournaments in MMA,
but it's got to be
separate
spread
nights.
out. But even that, it's not like it's like, oh, okay, the next fight will be in 3 months. Man, guys come out of fights injured and they can't turn over in 3 months, and then they do anyway, and then they lose when they shouldn't have, or they probably shouldn't have been fighting. When you're doing it in sports, it's a team. One guy's injured,
Yeah.
it's okay. The team
We can
still
still
plays.
going, yeah.
When it's just the one guy, there's too many factors. That's why
It's
I'm
hard to
pretty sure-
stick to their schedule. They have a strict
How
schedule.
many tournaments start with 8 fighters?
I know, and
all
finish
8
with
fighters. None of them gets injured. All the matchups go as they need to, and we get the right winner. Does that happen all the time? It rarely happens.
Even you're talking about even in ones where they don't do more than one fight in a night.
Yeah. Like even like the Strike Force heavyweight
Yeah.
Grand Prix. Like, oh, we need
DC
to get
comes in and wins it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we
I
had
think
to,
the
there's
last
always
Bellator
things.
tournament actually went pretty well. The heavyweight one.
I believe that one actually.
That
didn't
one
fall
actually
through.
stayed
But
together.
that was like
which
one of the
was
rare
The
ones.
welterweight one, that one stayed together.
Most of the time, though.
But
it does
again,
fall
the
through.
difference between them and what the PFL is doing is they're doing it on separate nights. I love Bellator's way of going about the tournaments now, though. Like it does have a little bit of an allure to it. I don't know what it
because
is.
it's the Scott Coker style. It's the Strike Force style.
Yeah,
It's the
I
grand-
fucking miss that. Like
I like how he does it.
compared
Like,
to what Bellator used to do under Bjorn Redme's
it's
fucking
smart.
thing.
When you don't have the craziest lineup of fighters, you can easily tie up an entire year of schedules by just doing these little matchups. And
And it's good they keep the champion in there too, so you don't have the champion like waiting around. Like,
I like how every time the champion fights, it's a title fight.
yeah, but every fight in the tournament is a 5-round fight.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Every fight.
That, I like that too. Yeah.
Why not? It's worth it. You're going to be eventually fighting for a title if you keep winning.
Yep. 100%.
Right? I love it. What's their they have the featherweight tournament going on right now, right?
You know what's going on with Mousasi Lovato? Are we getting that rematch? What's going on?
I'm not sure.
You know what? Wait, no, never mind. I remember now. Lovato is apparently injured, I believe, or nursing an injury.
Or cycling. I don't know what, I don't know what's going on. Let's see.
If they're like, I'm sorry, I know the eye test doesn't qualify, but when it's that obvious, the eye test works. Okay, the guy's on juice. You're not 37 years old with that many veins, and then you're getting a little bit of gyno on top of that. Like, what?
So let's shift gears.
That's like, remember Jinder Mahal?
Oh my god, dude! That guy's transformation was ridiculous.
He's just like muscly and smooth, and then it's like
veiny and fucking
27,
hard.
you were just kind of like good shape but smooth, and then 33, you have veins bulging and
out of your fucking forehead and your neck and shit.
And let's be real, with Punjabi jeans, you did that. I don't
know about that.
I don't know about that.
You're not
bro.
getting that off of roti and fucking olive oil and
Yeah,
shit.
no, get out of my face with that.
This is the
we're not athletes.
We're not athletes. There's not many of us out there that do that.
I'm not Punjabi technically, but whatever.
Indian genes.
Yeah. How many top level Indian fighters you got?
There isn't.
We're fucking. We were riding high on Arjun Buller for fuck's sakes.
And he wasn't even like aesthetically that pleasing. I know.
Who the fuck is Gogol Plata?
I know. By Adam Wizardcheck.
And you're like an Olympic level wrestler or something?
That one hurt.
God,
that one hurt
that was
too bad.
Terrible.
So this is what the featherweight Grand Prix looks like right now. AJ McKee's the only one in the semifinals, waiting for the winner of Darian Caldwell and Adam Borix, which should be a sick fucking fight.
Maybe not quite yet, but soon. AJ McKee might be Bellator's greatest.
He could be
baby.
But yo,
that
he looked
groomed.
Dude, the Campos. Did you watch the Campos fight?
Not all of it.
That one was getting sketchy for him.
Oh, was it?
It was getting a little bit sketchy because it looked like he was starting to blow his wad.
But then he knocked him out, right?
He subbed him. Yeah, he subbed him. But it's in round 3 he subbed him. But in round 2 it looked like it was starting to go a little bit bad.
Maybe he caught a second win. But that's okay. A young fighter. But
yeah, he has been dominant up until this point.
They're gonna get better anyway.
That's the only chink in his armor that I've seen thus far. So he's waiting. Borix and Caldwell were fighting this month, actually.
Dude, I think Borix is gonna. If Caldwell just decides I'm just gonna hug you again, it looks like on the feed Borix can probably knock this guy out.
Yeah. Borix is coming.
He's a dark horse.
Yeah,
he's a dark horse.
He's fucking coming into this.
Yeah.
And then the next fight we would get is in February.
This is an awesome tournament, I must say.
I know.
This is great.
And they have it perfectly, like, they're not really holding these guys to a strict schedule. They're like, they actually gave them the...
They gave them the dates.
They gave them the dates, which is fine.
And then I like the champion advantage. Champion got to decide first. I love that.
Yeah. Champion could decided last, but could be anywhere he wanted.
Yeah, I think he overruled.
He was able to overrule.
Picked it, he could be like, nah, I'm taking that.
So I think he was supposed to be who was supposed to be in March. Somebody else picked the Pedro Cavallo fight.
And then he took that fight. Yeah, because he's like, yo, listen, this is what I like about Patricio. You know how Brazilians are mostly like, they're very emotional when they say things. They're very like, they're just a passionate people, right? Patricio, though, he's got that. Like when his brother gets knocked down, he's screaming at Chandler and stuff. But when you actually listen to what he says, it reminds me of when Conor first came in. It's calculated.
A little bit more calculated.
There's a lot of thought behind what he's saying. I just like how he's like a straight up animal, but he doesn't give a fuck. He just said straight up. He's like, I'm the champion. I wanted a little more time to prepare. I have that advantage. I'm going to take it. I'm taking the Carvalho fight. Like, he didn't even be like, it wasn't like, he didn't try and bullshit it like, I think he's tougher than he is. No, he's just like, no, I wanted a fucking easier fight and I wanted to wait.
I think it was either Caldwell or Borix that was initially supposed to fight Carvalho, and then Patricio came in and he's like, I want Carvalho.
That was
because I remember somebody else was supposed to fight Carvalho.
Okay, I know McKee's like, no, give me the quickest fight. I'm good. And like, I want to turn around quick. Let's go.
Yeah, I love this fucking
his record is crazy because it's all Bellator. So he's 16 wins, but they're all in Bellator. He's never fought anywhere else. And he's been looking good, man. He could be a
beast for
monster.
sure.
He
has a great frame for that division too. 5'10", 73 and a half inch reach.
Imagine in 3 years this guy racks up another 5 or 6 wins and goes into the UFC at 20+0.
What he started in April 2015.
Yeah, just Bellator, and they've done it right. They slowly groomed him up.
Yeah.
They didn't.
I
they
like the
didn't-
gradual rise in
in
competition here.
They found the perfect balance between the way they did Michael Page and Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico
yeah.
got tossed to the wolves too quick.
Let's
Michael
go.
Page, we're still fucking waiting
know.
for him to get that
I
fight.
know.
This is like perfect. Like this is how you.
It's gonna be
gradually build a
so
guy up.
dumb. It will be the stupidest thing if they don't do Lorenz Larkin and Michael Van Page next.
I don't know.
Like it's a no brainer.
Why don't you
both
do
guys
that?
are pretty much at the same point in their careers.
And I know I've
Not
talked
careers,
about
but yeah.
Michael Page getting better fights. I actually think he knocks out Lorenz Larkin. I think he is
It's
that
possible,
good.
yeah.
I think he is high level and that good. I think he showed in the Lima fight before he got knocked out. Lima was in trouble. It looked like Page
Yeah.
was getting loose and about to finish this guy
Yeah.
before that nice little combo.
That's the
I
perfect
think
win
he
for
is
him
high
to get
level.
back into that discussion of
100%.
I'm gonna fight Lima again.
100%. So like, let's stop knocking out these clowns. Let's get a name on our record. Knock out Lorenz Larkin, and I think he does knock out Lorenz. So
They should be able to put that together before the summer, and if they don't, it's a huge misstep on their part because there's no need to continue to build up Lorenz
why
Larkin.
wouldn't you though? They both just fought. None of them took damage. Lorenz finally got back into the win column,
Yeah.
got back in his groove. So he's he got that little ring rust fight out of the way. Page has just been knocking out cans. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's book this fight ASAP.
I'm
Like you
completely
said,
okay with that.
This fight should happen, I think, by March, man. Like, let's get it going.
Yeah, I'm completely okay with that.
On one of these cards, these tournament cards,
Yeah, why not?
put Venom Page Lorenz Larkin as like a co-main or something on there.
We're gonna end the show off with a little experience that I had to go through on New Year's Day. So my old college roommate Chase, he always invites me out to go to like
Yeah.
regional MMA or regional wrestling shows, and I always have something that I'm doing, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna go with you. So we went to this show called Death Proof.
Okay.
Take what you want from the name.
Dude, these
Death
indie
Proof.
wrestling events and it's called Death Proof. Like, you're probably seeing like people breaking glass bottles over their heads and shit.
So their main event, cheese grater match.
Is this one of those where fans come in with weapons and then the guys just go into the crowd and be like, give me something to use? And then
They were
use
wrestling in the
whatever?
crowd, but they had weapons. Like somebody from the promotion made this giant like plywood with cheese graters on it, like glued onto it. So it was just like maybe like 15 cheese graters on this giant plywood, and they would just keep slamming each other on it and shit. Then there's like a crutch that somebody glued cheese graters on, and they're just whacking each other over
These
it.
indie guys do this for like a
It's
few $100 payday.
Not
Like,
even
they get like
probably $100 if
$100
that, right? It's insane. Then they had mini cheese graters, like you know how they put out thumbtacks. They put out mini cheese graters and fucking slam each other on that shit.
Jesus Christ.
One of the craziest experiences I've ever gone to. Like the crowd seemed like a diehard crowd that's been at like all their shows, and it was at like a small bar. There was maybe 100 to 150 people there,
okay.
and they have a chant. One wrestler yells out "Death Proof." The crowd yells out "Fuck yeah!" Like "Death Proof, fuck yeah!" I'm like, what the
That's hilarious.
fuck?
Some sort of cult thing going on.
Dude,
Underground.
I felt so uncomfortable there. The one of two brown guys that were there,
Dude, it's probably rowdy, drunk white people everywhere.
all
Like,
white people,
Yeah.
the exact stereotype that you're thinking,
Yeah.
exactly that, face tattoos.
So you're probably worried
fucking-
about bumping into a guy getting into a fight all of a sudden.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping about not getting murdered.
Yeah.
I'm out there trying to smoke and be like, all right, I'm just trying to be cool. You know what I mean? I'm cool.
That's
I
pretty
swear I'm
funny.
cool. It was interesting strictly due to the fact that I've never been to anything like that before.
Yeah.
Would I do it again? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
I would need a little bit more quality from the wrestlers themselves.
I'm so done with live events in general. After the few
The-
UFC, we're done. I'm done.
The experience of it wasn't that bad strictly because, like, again, it was just a small bar.
Yeah.
So the viewing
It's a
experience
little
was fun.
more. Yeah.
Like, it was great. Like, the wrestlers are coming around and shit. I almost got hit by actually one of the cheese graters. I fucking moved out of the way. Thank God. It was just so weird. And it's weird to me that they're able to have such a fan base, such a diehard fan base to come out to all the shows, especially on a New Year's Day type of event too, right? It was fun, but would I do it again? Probably not. I would rather do. Have you ever heard of Slam or Smash? I think it's called Smash Wrestling. It's like another local Toronto one, but it's a little bit more. You know, it's not PG. It's not fucking rated R. You know what I mean? It's more PG-13.
Like actual wrestling.
Yeah, that's where I saw AJ Styles. He wrestled
okay.
Chris Hero. Actually, this was years ago. That was fun. But yeah, I wouldn't go to there again. And it was It was fucking rough, dude. When I first pulled up to the venue, I'm like, wait a second, I don't know if this is the type of bar that I should be going to right now.
Oh, okay. It was one of
It was in
those.
Mississauga. It was 427 in Dundas.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
The Rock Pile, it's called.
That's Etobicoke, I think.
Etobicoke, yeah, whatever the fuck you want to call
yeah.
it. It was whatever, dude. Not one wrestler that I recognized. Their biggest
How
act.
would you? I wouldn't recognize them, and I watch wrestling. Man. It's like, what the fuck?
Their biggest act was a tag team named White Trash Circus.
Oh, God,
So
of
that's
course.
what,
I know what these cards are. Yeah.
one of the guys was like shorter than me. He's like 5'1", kind of like burly, beard, bald, tank top with the White Trash Circus shirt and army pants. Fucking killed me, dude. And his partner was like just a taller, more Mexican looking version of him who had like a goatee. He looked like somebody that could be arrested. The other guy just like, oh, I'm fucking blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh God. I don't know if I could do this again.
What a life to live, though, man. There's just not enough money. Like, even in.
Oh no.
hell
I think those guys are, the funny thing is, I think those guys are the ones that run the show. White Trash Circus, yeah.
Well, you use cards like that to come up.
Yeah.
Like, all your top names,
Of course.
they did shows like that, so.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
But even just like live events, I think it's funny because I'm a big wrestling fan, but I've only ever gone to one wrestling event live, and that
Was that the NXT show we went to?
The NXT Takeover show in
Yeah.
Toronto, where
Yeah.
Samoa Joe beat Shinsuke. That was cool. But
I
there's
just
the
like
same-
the atmosphere. For me,
That's it. It's atmosphere, right?
It's all atmosphere.
When you look at like pros and cons,
Yeah.
you got like 5 cons and 1 pro. Atmosphere. Everything
Yeah.
else is a con. Can't go out to smoke whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
I can't just get out of my seat and go grab a snack. I got to pay like $20 for water.
yeah.
I'm cramped, not to mention because I'm fucking tall too, and
I
these
know.
seats are made for like 4'5" people. I remember looking at the seats and going, I've seen like you don't even have to be obese, you just have to be a little husky. How do you
And
fit
it'll be
in that
tight.
fucking seat?
It'll be
How
tight.
do you fit?
Yeah.
Like my hips are fucking crunched in there. The
Yeah.
worst arena is the
Bell
Bell
Center. I remember
Fuck
that.
that.
I remember
fucking
that.
terrible arena. Garbage.
That was
I hate
113
the
we
Bell
went to,
Center.
right?
Yeah.
The one behind you, actually. Yeah.
Never will I go back to the Bell Center again unless I get floor seats with the chairs or something.
And even that, I want 2 chairs.
Even then, man. I still remember, like, you're always watching, like, well, I'm here live. Let me watch what's going on.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
You're like, I can't see it.
And
Fuck
then you
this.
look
I'm
at the
gonna
screen.
watch the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm neck craned like
Yeah.
this. I'm like, I'd rather just be home.
I don't know. For me, it has to be a big event, or if it's
a big
something in
fight.
Toronto. Like I told you, I really want to go to Khabib and Tony. I really want to
Yeah.
go there. It's in Brooklyn. I wouldn't mind sitting in a shitty seat just to be in the atmosphere for that fight.
That I wouldn't mind going to, but once again, like this is the
Comfort wise, you're right. Comfort wise, it's a
This
lot
is-
easier to do
no,
it from home.
This is the big mistake that we made when we first went to a couple of UFC shows. We were like, hey, bro, if we're going to get free tickets, we're going to take advantage. We're going to go from the first fight. And then
Yeah,
we're
you're
there for
sitting
like
there for
6
6
hours.
hours,
It's like,
yeah.
oh my God, there's a reason people just show up for the fucking main
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
So if we go to that one, main card, bro. And
I
even
wouldn't mind
then-
doing maybe even like the prelim headliner, depending on what the
We'll see.
fights are.
I have a feeling that card is going to be one where the first 2 main card fights are shit anyway. So we should probably just show up for like the third last.
Have they haven't announced anything for that card, have they? Besides that, because that card's really far
We're gonna
out.
watch it from like an Airbnb until that fight happens. Then we'll drive to the arena. That's it.
Yo, let's see if they've actually lined up anything for that card yet.
No.
Because it is really far out.
Oh
right?
yeah, there was one fight announced. I remember there was another fight announced, and I'm like, why are they filling up this card in April? Like, what about the cards before then?
Why is it?
Another thing, I just saw this. So you know how the UFC's released their quarter schedule?
Yeah.
It's only 12 events. So if
Is
you-
it?
Yeah, if you extrapolate that to the year, they're only on pace for 36 for the year. That's
But
dumbing
I
it down
always
a bit.
find that the first quarter is a little bit
Is it?
is
Okay.
a little less.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, are they going to pick it up? Like, what's going on? Like, I think generally they like to hover around, 44 events?
Between 42 and 44 events.
I think one year they did like 48 or something.
Let's see what their schedule is here.
Yeah, it's only like 12 events announced.
So
yeah,
first
go
quarter.
to
Right here.
249.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Does April count in the first quarter? No. It's March.
Yeah, end of March.
So 10 events in the first quarter.
That's actually very low.
How is that? So January 18th.
Wait, not even quarter. What are we saying?
Quarter.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Quarter
yeah,
is
end of
till
is
March.
quarter. Okay, yeah. So what am I saying?
That's
Never
not
mind.
bad. 10 events in 9-ish weeks.
Oh
Two-
no, this is what I did. I took that whole list to be a total of, is it 13 or 12? Did I miscount?
This is 12.
So 12, but to the end of April would be a third of the year. So that's
Correct.
the first third. So
Yeah, a
I'm, I'm So
Yeah,
I'm the first third. So
Yeah,
I'm
a
I'm
third.
I'm assuming there's no more April events, and so the first third is just 12.
I know they officially announced from January to March. This is what their first quarter is going to look like. Right
Oh,
here.
okay, so you know what? So April, they probably haven't gotten to that. Like,
I know they have a crazy stretch of fights here. 18th, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. No. There's a break after the Blades DeSantos.
no, from the 8th, February 8th
1,
to like
2,
March
3,
28th. Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Every week,
8
yeah.
straight fights.
But then you get a nice little. Oh no, wait, that's only a 1 week break.
1 weekend break.
I'm guessing they might have a fight night on like April 25th or something. So
Could
you
be.
might get another card in there.
All right. Uriah Hall versus Jacare Souza.
That's
Not bad.
the one.
Okay.
That's announced so
Not bad.
far ahead of time. That's a good fight for Uriah Hall. Like he can finally
needs
kind
that.
of break in a bit. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck happened to Uriah Hall, man?
Yeah. Maybe we can cover that on next week's episode.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we got through over an hour of this shit
Yeah.
with no fucking fights, nothing
It's
going on.
MMA. We can talk.
Yeah,
about
we
this
can talk shit. We even got some wrestling talking there for a little bit. We're not going to be doing deciding splits this week. We got fucking nothing. Don't blame us. Maybe we'll come up for something for next week. Yeah, and then next week we'll dig a little bit deeper into UFC 246 as well. Because, yeah, there aren't any huge matchups, but there are some intriguing matchups. I want to talk about Fajera against Pettis for a bit too.
dude.
So we'll save that for next week. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave some comments, and we'll see you guys next week. Simple as that. Later.